they'll be given to a particular district, and there they can be responding to needs of various stations. That is what is being planned. Thank you.
Honorable Member for Lower Salum.
Yeah, correct. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Minister, don't you think you revisit your budget lines where those ones are not necessary, like furniture and fittings, maintenance of buildings, you understand? Then those monies, you can maybe every year you can buy 2 or 3 vehicles for police stations. You understand? You can keep those monies or you save them for vehicle rather than every year furniture and fittings, maintenance of buildings, which I don't think is worth for it.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. When I was police advisor, the issue around maintenance of buildings is abhorrent to me. Rather build a new station. You find out that you want to maintain a building, it costs nearly the same as building a new station. But what we are given as allocation is so small. And then sometimes in the budget, it's mentioned that you are going to get 100 million. But when the allocations come, they give you less than like 40 million. And then the rest of the money is never allocated. I remember we had to come to the Defense and Security Committee to try to discuss about how those allocations or budget allocations can be boosted. We were here nearly until 2 to 3, but I'm sorry we didn't get much. But that's it.
Okay. Honorable Member for Sami.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, how often did your ministry allocate uniform to the police?
The allocation of uniform to police is dependent on the availability of this. What we require for uniform, the amount is so huge, and what is allocated is so small. I don't know whether it's appropriate to say this here, but you ask the question. Sometimes some officers have to buy their uniform themselves because they want to appear neat. So, there you go.
Honorable Member for Brikama South.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, the Barra Detention Center, the detainees goes beyond 72 hours. And this is due to fulfillment of the bail condition. Does your ministry have any strategic approach in order to avoid denying the detainees their right to be bailed within 72 hours? Do you have any strategic approach?
Ideally, if a detainee goes up to the appointed time of bail, he is allowed to have that access to bail. But sometimes the nature of the offense committed doesn't permit us to leave them to just walk away. So you will have to make sure that they have some sort of a security that they will come. And sometimes what you get is even strangers who have no one who will even stand solidarity for them. So that causes a problem. So the problem becomes compounded by the fact that we need to release them, but we cannot just let them walk because probably they're involved in such a crime that if you let them go, you get a backlash also. So balancing it is a big problem.
Honorable Member for Jara West.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, in your reply, you said Jara Soma and Sibano Station were supposed to have each a vehicle, but still now you are pursuing it, but until now you could not get it. Pursuing it from where?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Member for Jara West. Ministry of Finance are the ones who allocate those funds to us. we've discussed this many times, and it is a concern that Jara Soma and Sibano be equipped with vehicles because of issues around those areas. And interestingly, we have been pursuing them, but we have not been able to get them. So that's where it is.
Honorable Member for Fukoni Kansala.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, as per the rating differences of the PIU in terms of a complete full uniform, and that of the general duty is also a complete full uniform, and the current status quo where uniforms is a problem for men and women in uniform. I want to put this to you. Would it be okay in this regard, difficult moment where the votes or monies that are identified for uniform personnel is difficult, where you think along the line where maybe inculcated as an allowance, where those men and women in uniform will be used? If not, even if allocation is due, they will still be buying uniform for themselves. Is your ministry ready to walk along that line?
Thank you.
Honorable Minister, do you understand? Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Member for Fukoni Kansala. Uniform is a requirement for uniformed servicemen, and they have to wear the uniform because it's a requirement that they wear the uniform. And then giving them an allowance is not something that the police or the ministry can just get up and do. It has to be a budgetary allocation, a budget item that will be authorized so that it can be used to pay them the allowance that we are now talking about. But it is, for now, not part of our budget. Obviously, there are allowances for plain clothes, but those are people who are by the nature of their job not to wear a uniform, and they are given an allowance to get their own dress to wear to go to work.
Honorable Member for Janjambure.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, considering the security threats that have been emerging in the country, what is your ministry doing to help?
On the statement that the minister has responded to.
Speaker, I think if you allow me to learn, you will understand where I am getting to. Please.
No, I am here to regulate. I cannot allow you for something that I believe is not correct.
No, I'm making my basis.
Pardon?
I said I'm trying to make a base here.
He said
laying a foundation. It's as simple as anything.
All right, lay your foundation, but it has to be a short one, not for 10 stories.
No, it's indeed very short and precise, Honorable Speaker. Let me just get to the question straightforward. Honorable Minister, what is your ministry doing to increase the budget allocation for the Ministry of Interior in order to allocate the necessary resources for our securities? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Speaker, it's out of order.
Omar, you are not the Speaker, for God and heaven's sake.
Can you answer it? Honorable Minister, what is the problem?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Member for Janjambure, I'll start by asking this Honorable Assembly to work
Honorable
with
Minister.
us
Lower Nyomi. Is it Upper Nyomi? Upper Nyomi, you said something is out of order. You have withdrawn it?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
It's not withdrawn, Honorable Speaker. I'm still on my foot.
Upper Nyomi, have you withdrawn it?
No.
All right, go ahead then. If it's a point of order, isn't it?
Order 48.6. After a statement has been delivered in the Assembly, a period of question on the statement which shall be last not more than 1 hour may then ensue. The Speaker shall determine the period taken into consideration, the content of the statement, the number of members wishing to ask the question, and the pressure of the business.
So what is out of order?
Honorable Speaker, the statement is about the detention centers in the country, and the honorable member is asking for the resources provided to the security forces. It's completely out of order.
But, honorable member, the quotation you made does not relate to what you are agreeing. What you quoted was what I quoted to remind you about the process, that we should all be careful. Can the honorable minister now answer the question from the honorable member for Janjanbureh?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable member for Janjanbureh. I'll start by asking this honorable assembly to join me in trying to convince that we need more allocated to our various departments so that we can perform, because without that it will be very difficult. Security is not cheap, and anything that can be added to whatever is being given to us will be of great help. I'll start from there. Thank you.
Honorable Minister, we are very grateful for being very polite to the National Assembly, because we know that we are the ones who appropriate funds. If we now push the ball to your court and you respond that way, we are thankful. Honorable Member for Banjul South.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The report required the status of human rights compliances, and I'm going to be specific about Basse. I am not in support of having juveniles being jailed, but when I look at the police stations in different areas, it says that there is no good place where they can, or specific place for juvenile. And the Honorable Minister has not mentioned anything to that regard. He said that, for example, in Basse, that there is plan to build a modern police station. But meanwhile, where would they keep the juvenile in that case? Because it is specifically mentioned, and not only that police station, but in different police stations. So what do we do to the juvenile before that? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Like I mentioned, in the case of Janjanbureh, juvenile suspects, it's a big issue. Dealing with juveniles and keeping them separate from adults is a challenge. But we will endeavor to, as soon as it is possible, to have those facilities where juveniles will be treated separately from adults. Because otherwise we be constrained. But again, sometimes we would consider somebody a juvenile, but the type of offenses that they commit, you cannot just let them loose. Well, we will discuss this with the Department of Social Welfare and see what sort of suggestions they can come with. I know that even for breastfeeding inmates, there was an arrangement to keep some at a particular location. I don't know whether I can discuss this. But recently, they just managed to evade because the environment is not conducive for keeping inmates. So that is a challenge that we have. But we will do all we can to see how we can resolve these issues. Thank you.
Honorable nominated member Fatou K. Jawara.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, for giving me the floor. Honorable Minister, in your submission, you highlight plans on the way to relocate Mile 2 to Joshua. Do you have any plan in place to separate the nursing mothers? Sorry, do you have any plan in place, putting into consideration the different offenders? Do you have any plan in place to put a separate cells for nursing mothers or criminal-minded people? For instance, somebody who is a criminal-minded people and somebody who have a problem of money, business, and so on cannot be in the same cell. As I experienced, sometimes they are so aggressive. Two, most of your constraints are insufficient monthly allocation and budgetary constraint. Do you have any plan in place to forgo with your furniture and fitting in your budget line to put everything in uniforms? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, Honorable nominated member, for the question. When it comes to even the allocation for furniture and fittings, it is very difficult to walk away with any durable solution for that, because sometimes we find out that it is mentioned in the budget but not available. Okay, about the new prisons, the plans that have been discussed and are still being developed are that we will have total separation of detainees or prisoners. There will be classification. Recently, I visited the Mile 2 prisons, and the issue was discussed about even classifying. People. It's not like trying to give them anything extra. Developing the plan. Previously, we wanted to just take a plan from anybody, but we thought for security, we have to develop it ourselves locally. That will give it maximum. At least those living there will be considered to have been treated humanely. Thank you very much.
The Honorable Member for Talending, Kunja.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. The report raises concern with regards to shortages of feeding for detainees. And you've mentioned 10,000 allocation per region. So I would ask, my question is, what is your unit cost per detainee a day in that 10,000, and how is it disposed to the police stations on timely basis so that they don't run into areas? The report also raised concern with regards to the state of toilets in the police stations, how unhygienic they are and how it violates the human rights of detainees. You've not mentioned it, and I don't know what is your ministry's position with regard to ensuring that the toilet facilities at stations across the country are kept clean, tidy, and in good condition. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I'll start from the toilets. I'll invite Honorable Member to visit Serekunda and see how the new setup is, so that it is kept it is done in such a way that it will not cause those types of problems for the detainees as well as for the officers, because they are housed in the same building. I did say that we have constraints about the budgetary allocation. I couldn't, off the top of my head, tell you the figure per detainee, but totally $474,000 is what was allocated for prisoners feeding throughout the country. That is the amount given. Thank you.
Honorable Member for Nyanija.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. In the committee's observation, in their report, it was mentioned that Njau Police Station is in dire need of renovation, and the Honorable Minister made mention here of building new police stations across the country, if I get it right, up to 9 or so. Is Njau in consideration? And the second thing is, just by way of information, mobility is also a problem there. Just recently, the vehicle that they are using has been withdrawn by the High Command to, I don't know, somewhere. So now if they are arresting, doing whatever, they use a motorbike and so. So that's...
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I remember during a recent visit to that area, one of our, I don't know whether he's still serving or ex-CISE, approached me and he mentioned that that particular station, the late IG, Mahmoud Job, they identified that particular station for a bill. Please, I would urge you to ask me again. Probably I should be able to get that answer from the IG. But the new stations are going to be spread evenly across the regions. I know that there was a question about Jarume, around that area, Karantawa. That one, there's going to be one around that area, but I was told that because of the issues around the ownership of land, that's why that one was stalled. But I will be able to give you the answer. But really, transport constraints are cost-cutting, but the police command is working very hard to make sure that they secure vehicles. Like I said, they'll be shared among districts so that instead of allocating a vehicle to a particular police station or personalizing it to a station officer who, if he's coming from the provinces, puts whatever on board to come and deprive the station of it, it will be centralized use for as a pool. That's what they are working on, and hopefully very soon we will see them on the road. Thank you.
Honorable Member for Joshua.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, looking at the current market situation, the amount of money that is provided per prisoner is $2.50 per meal. At $2.50 per meal. For prisoners, $2.50 per meal. Are there any plans to adjust the price looking at the current market situation? $2.50, yes, it's here. It's here, you are saying, how do you come to that? It's mentioned, it's very clear.
Honorable Member, when you ask your question, just keep quiet. Don't respond to side issues. Don't respond to people who talk on the sidelines.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I don't know whether I got you right. It's $2.50 per inmate, per meal.
Per inmate, per meal, yeah.
Per inmate, per meal. I think that amount would be too small to really feed. But sometimes if you pull them together, pull the money together, you can be able to share. I remember I was at the training school, the allocation for even feeding the recruits was so small. But if you add all this together and go to the market and buy things, you are able to manage. That is what we do, but it is not sufficient. Thank you.
Honorable Member for Nyamina Dankunku.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister.
Kunku.
Yes. Honorable Minister, I'm picking my question from your response. with regard of the uniforms. You made mention 52 million for general duties, and then you mentioned $20,000 per one PIU and $12,000 per policeman. Now, are you referring to the clothes alone, or it is accompanied with all the gadget the officer may need?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. This goes for the total outfit of the PIU officer. You know, sometimes they operate under different circumstances from the general duty police officer. So the outfit is different. Thank you.
Honorable Member for Bakau.
Speaker, Honorable Minister, if I heard you right, you've indicated that your ministry is very much prepared to build new police stations across the country. Looking at the shape of Bakau police station and the space, how prepared is your ministry to rebuild this police station?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Bakau Police Station is in a very important location because of its proximity to the tourist area, and developing it to a very good standard would be one of our priorities. Certainly, if the funds are available, we'll consider Bakau as well. I remember we used to even get assistance from the British High Commission. They used to supply a Land Rover to the station. It's one of those stations that we have always regarded as very important to this country. So we will certainly consider it. Thank you.
Honorable Member for Lower Nyomi.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Keep up the good work. With the limited resources you have, you're trying to manage with it, with your men and women in uniform.
Are you using the microphone?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. My question here is, you've mentioned of relocating Mile 2 to Jos 1. How soon? The second question is, you get a post at Fast Choi, that is a security post. What type of communication gadgets do you have? Because as reliable phones are not, cell phones are not reliable. What type of communication gadgets?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I would love to give a timeline to the commencement of work on the new prisons at Old Joshua. I am looking forward to seeing that project start either by the end of this year or early next year. I can't be specific because it depends on what is being discussed. For communication, again, those are capital intensive acquisitions. We have engaged partners, both locally and international, to see where they can cooperate with us and let us have these items, even up to including CCTV, which will be of use. In other countries, they frown on them, but we would like to have CCTV, not to go into people's homes, but in busy streets and office areas and so forth, even including around the National Assembly. I've seen you have this in the building, but it is very useful to have these things. Definitely, telephones are not reliable. I was chatting with someone recently, and whilst I was chatting, I could hear someone that's talking. I thought it was in the room. He switched off because he said that was a cross line. So we started having them now, and all of us will be careful when we're using the phone, what we say on the phone. If it is confidential, say, can we meet, we talk, because it's not very secure. Thank you.
Honorable members, let me on your behalf thank the Honorable Minister for Interior for ably presenting and responding to your questions, and to all of you who have asked questions, job well done. To our questions, what we do when it comes to the budget. You know, let's start listening to the various ministries and then jot down. So that when it comes, we also prioritize. Because the money is never enough. Honorable Minister, thank you very much. You are now released. Clerk, may we proceed?
Oral Minister's reply. Order 100. Minister's reply to the report of the National Assembly Select Committee on Environment and NGO Affairs, oversight visit to fish landing sites across the country, October 2022.
Honorable members, is the Honorable Minister around?
Order.
May we hear your point of order?
With your permission, I can read. It says, within 30 days of a resolution of the Assembly or adoption of any report of a committee, the minister under whose portfolio the matter raised in the report or contained in the assurances or resolution falls shall provide a reply to the Assembly. 2. A minister who fails to submit a report under this standing order shall be deemed to be contempt of the Assembly within the meaning of Section 75(6) of the Constitution, misconduct in office, as amended. Honorable Speaker, I think we should take...
No. You don't explain. You raised a point of order.
Thank you.
And I don't know what is the basis of your point of order. You may want to take the floor and then do your presentation, but a point of order meaning something is out of order.
Mr. Speaker, it is out of order that we call the ministers to come and respond and they do not come.
That is not a point of order.
It is a point of order. It is in the...
Honorable, if I call a minister and the minister is not present and you members want to invoke certain clauses of the either standing orders or the Constitution, it's not a point of order. You just raise your tag, you contribute. Say, Minister so-and-so is not here, or this and that, because we should be able to do A, B, and C. But that has nothing to do with a point of order. We have not done anything that is out of the... Nothing has happened. So if you want to contribute, after I have called the minister, you can make a contribution or make an observation or do something that we will listen to and members will hear and we work. But if you tell me a point of order, I will either rule it in or out. And there is nothing that went wrong. Member, do you want to participate? You want to say something as regards? What do you call it?
Yes,
the report of the National Assembly Select Committee on these things.
Yes, I want to make a contribution.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, we have these ministers, the Minister for Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources, the Honorable Minister for Health, and the Honorable Minister for Lands and Regional Government, who are not here. And I think of the Assembly. And I think it is about... Thank you.
All right.
Especially health. He has been very compliant.
Who?
Health.
Health.
He has been very consistent.
And wasting our time. Honorable Member for Banjul South, you have finished what you want to say, isn't it?
Yes, I
I don't know whether I'm in a position to answer that question. No regards. Why they gave a late response? But you have said what you want to say, honorable members. Any other comments on somebody wants to say something? Yes, honorable minority leader and member for Brikama North.
Thank you very much, honorable speaker. To add my voice to the concern raised by the honorable member for Banjul South, one can understand the importance of the delegation to attend the UN General Assembly. I want to believe that to get
is he having access to a lawyer? Because
to the August Assembly, for that, I think is something that one cannot take that as genuine excuse.
About something like this, a high-profile case like this, this guy is only speaking.
Attorney General Assembly session could have been well received, and if they acted adequately, the assemblies will have got that notification that yes, so and so will not be available due to another mission. Look at it today. If we had known much earlier, it could have been avoided how we loaded the other paper today with those ministers that were supposed to appear. For future, such kind of things should be avoided. And secondly, the last session, it happened that a particular minister was part of the ministries that's supposed to be responding, but due to his international or other engagement could not be available. And I'm surprised that minister is not scheduled, because the last time he was not available and we could not recall and then make sure he is scheduled. So my fear is these ones that are absent today, next they should be available to make sure what they fail to respond to, they respond to that. I can be very specific that the Ministry of Youth and Sports, the other time he was also among the ministers. Who supposed to appear, due to his engagement, did not appear, and now he's not part of those schedules to make response to the report that he could not report to the last session. So the ones that are not coming, please table office. Make sure if they are not here this time, next time they appear.
Honorable minority, I think you are saying that all the ministers who are not present today, the table office, the office of the clerk should ensure that they all appear next time. All right? Yes. Who? Lower Salum.
Honorable Speaker, thank you. Honorable Speaker, communication has been made. I don't think that one suffices much. We want to see the communication of those ministers who travel. Because, Honorable Speaker, there are ministers who are here. You understand? Now, tell us now, or you give us the communication there. How do you communicate it? We want to know. Because it cannot be business as usual, Honorable Speaker. Here, ministers are sitting down there. Because we must, what I said, if they cannot make it right, we should make it right. Because we are representing people. We want to know. We want to see the communication of these ministers, Honorable Speaker, who travel to UN General Assembly and who are here. Then we can make our decisions. Yes, we want to get that communication.
You know, we cannot provide you those documentations now, and we are not. We have, even as we sit down here, we have received some letters, communications now, today, here, whilst we are here, from Defense, and it's talking about, further to your memo, the Honorable Minister is currently engaged and gone to the UN. This one is Justice. So as we are here, we have received letters. So what we are saying is, Honorable, please. Honorable, when you are talking, we listen to you. When people are talking, please, let's listen. Please. So your request, we will ask the Office of the Clerk to try to provide those things. Is it, who else wants to take the floor?
I know of two instances.
Member for Opanyumi.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I think there's a mistake on the other paper.
It's about fundamental human rights.
National Assembly Select Committee report on gender, children, social welfare, sports check in the pediatric and maternity and lab ward, Edward Francis Montague Hospital, Palabas. I think instead of Honorable, for me, I'm not hearing. Yes, I think instead of Honorable Minister for Health, a report on gender, children, and social welfare. Please, Honorable Member, address your question to me. Can you go ahead, please? You have withdrawn. Honorable Member for Nyanija.
Yes, thank you very much. I think, just to correct my honorable colleague, I think it's definitely for the minister because it's in his portfolio for hospitals and so on. The Honorable Speaker, what I'm interested to know is who have sent in the communication, because I hear you talking about justice and defense. What about the others? We want to know who have definitely communicated formally to your office and who is available. We want to know so that we do know something.
Honorable, I've just responded to that. I said these ones just found us here. The Office of the Clerk, I said they will go and look into the files and then try to make you know what this thing is.
Don't find excuses for them. And we should.
Boya kata.
Or the courts themselves not to grant audience to state prosecutors. Wallahi, I'm telling you, the Attorney General will ensure.
Hindi. Ang gulo ay ito. Ah? Eh? Okay. Media. Ah! media agenda bi. Boy Mustafa, oyal ma caas ba. Caas, dimbal ma lii wala na.
All right, because this involves the current one, environment. The next one is that's the report of the Select Committee on Gender, Children, Social Welfare. Okay, is there a visit on the medical facility? Is the Honorable Minister for Health. And the last one is the Honorable Minister for Lands and Regional Government. These were the three absentees. We will note it down and we will definitely notify them and then send them letters. Office of the clerk should note that, please. Honorable members, can we proceed? Clerk, can we proceed now?
Bills. Order 72. Consideration stage of the Constitutional Amendment Bill 2023 by the Honorable Alhaji Mbow, member for Opasal.
Honorable members, we recall that after the second reading stage, the bill automatically stood referred to the ABC committee. Therefore, in accordance with Orders 53E and 68B of the standing orders, a motion was moved by a member of the ABC on Thursday, 14 September 2023, to commit the Constitution Amendment Bill 2023 to the Committee of the Whole House for consideration of the bill. During the consideration stage, honorable members, members shall have the opportunity to give detailed consideration and scrutiny to every clause and schedule in the bill. This stage also provides the first opportunity for amendments to the bill to be debated and voted on. I will therefore now resolve the Assembly into the Committee of the Whole Assembly to give consideration to the bill entitled Constitutional Amendment Bill 2023. The Assembly now resolves into the Committee of the Whole Assembly. Honorable members, the Assembly will now go into the Committee of the Whole Assembly to consider the Constitution Amendment Bill 2023, clause by clause. Will be guided by Order 72 of the Standing Orders during the consideration stage.
Clause 2, Amendment of the Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia, 1997.
Clause 2 or 1? No. We're going to start with 1. Yes. Clause 1.
Clause 1, subtitle.
It is proposed that Clause 1, subtitle, stand part of the bill. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Clause 2, Amendment of the Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia, 1997.
It is proposed that Clause 2, Amendment of the Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia, 1997, stand part of the bill. Those in favor, please say aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Clause 3, Amendment of Section 152.
It is proposed that Clause 3, Amendment of Section 152, stand part of the bill. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Huh? The proposed?
We have a proposal here from the...
It was almost going to be late. There is a proposal here for possible addition. Can the honourable member for Banjul, can you lead us to what your request is?
Thank you. Mr. Chair, to add the chief Chief Justice. It gives them 90 days before the end of the previous financial year. I was proposing...
Sorry, no. Are you on section clause 3?
152.5. I said to add an addition, 5A. Because we've added number of days in each of those from 6 to 7, and I was proposing at least 90 days before the end of the year to increase it to 120 days so that it will give us more time to scrutinize. It will give them more time for their bilaterals to come up with a better budget.
Her proposal is, the bill seeks to amend section 152 of the 1997 Constitution. And the proposed amendments are stated here, A, B, and C. I think she is proposing that we add another one, that is to amend section the same section, subsection 5. I think that's our proposal. If you read, the Chief Justice and any other authority Honorable Chair. Honorable Minority.
I'm saying the amendment that is presented by the mover is limiting to 152, 3, but 152.5. That one is not part of the amendment. No, it's not 152 in general. Specific sections of 152 are requested to be amended.
Honorable Minority, I think you are right.
Specific subsections of 152 are requested to be amended. So if they don't fall part of that, we cannot include that to be part of the amendment. It's only the mover who can do that, and it's not within his request.
And it has to be gazetted because he made proposals for amendments to the Constitution and gazetted it. The ones that have not been proposed for amendment are not gazetted. It may not be legal that we try to amend it. But what the honorable member was trying to say is independent institutions like the judiciary, National Assembly, etc., they have 3 months to submit their budget to the president, that is judiciary. She is saying we extend it to, 6 months, am I right?
4 months.
Honorable Chair.
Honorable, let's not argue about that. Your proposal is to extend the submission of the budget of the judiciary from 3 months to what? How many months? 4 or 6 months? 4 months. I want to believe, honorable member, that for budgeting purposes, if you have to, before you can submit your budget for the subsequent year, at least it must go to, at least you must have done 3/4 of your operations. But if you go back to 4 months before, you are anticipating something that could change over the period. So I think 3 months is more than enough for them to be able to prepare and submit to the president. The president will submit it to the parliament and we'll look at it.
Honorable Chair.
Before you come in, honorable member, continue, Banjul, South. You want to say something?
Chair, the reason being, we have more time now. It's only the commencement. It's not that they would submit, but it gives them that time to at least start the bilaterals. Because as a former member of the authority, we've had problems, like we had to rush with the budget at times. So it gives them more time. It's not that they are obliged to, but it widens the time that they should start the initiative. That is the reason. Because we have increased from 7 to 14. We have given the parliament more time to look into the budget. So because they are autonomous also, it gives them a lot more time to start the initiative and coming and going, because their budget comes and goes. So I think that is the only reason. But if the assembly does not agree, then it's fine. It's just to give them more time to look into the details.
Is to give, we extended the time for the assembly to look at the entire budget.
So to look at the entire budget. So also it gives them earlier time to start.
Yeah, they can start any time, but they said their budget should be submitted to the president at least 3 months before. They can start any time.
Can I clarify, please? Can I clarify?
Yes, member for Nyani.
Yes, thank you very much. As the one dedicated by the member for Upper Salem, I think the honorable member have a very good intention, but unfortunately, if you look at it here, what the bill seeks to address is just to give the assembly more time to scrutinize the estimate and also to deal with the appropriation bill. And then I think what she is referring to here is for the Chief Justice or the judiciary to submit their estimate to the president. And this will be incorporated in the draft estimate of expenditure and revenue, which will be submitted if this amendment passes, at least as stipulated by the amendment, and I think that will suffice. It's a good one, but I think let us just limit it to the submitted amendment by the honorable member. I beg your pardon, please.
Thank you very much. And if you look at the long title of the bill, on the cover of the bill, the long title, an act to amend the Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia 1997 to extend the time in which the president is required to cause the minister responsible for finance to prepare and lay before the National Assembly the estimates of revenue and expenditure of the Gambia, one time for the consideration and approval. It's specific to that. Yes?
Yeah, I think that's what I said. The amendment is specific on 152.1, 152.1A, and 152.3A. These are the specific areas that the amendment is specific on.
So, okay then, honorable members, we continue, isn't it? Did I put the question? It is proposed that Clause 3, amendment of Section 152, stand part of the bill. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. You don't need the notes. You don't need to, because this is a requirement. No bill will be looked into without me managing it. Because it's a requirement. Yes, it is.
Explanatory memorandum, objects and reasons.
So, honorable members, I think we can now move to
the assembly now resumes.
Yes. Honorable members, the Assembly now resumes. Honorable members, the Assembly now resumes. I now invite the person in charge of the bill to move the report of the Committee of the Whole Assembly. Honorable Member for Nyani.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I report that the bill entitled Constitutional Amendment Bill 2023, having gone through the Committee of the Whole Assembly without amendments, I move that the report be adopted. Thank you.
Thank you. Any seconder? Honorable Member for Woodley East.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise to move second the motion. Thank you.
Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that the report of the whole Assembly on the Constitutional Amendment Bill 2023 without amendments be adopted. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. In accordance with Order 73.4, the consideration stage is hereby completed. Honorable members, the third reading for the Constitutional Amendment Bill 2023 is now scheduled for Thursday, 22nd September 2023 for Honorable Member for Upper Salem to move for the third reading. However, before this date, the Honorable Member for Upper Salem is hereby urged to comply with Order 7220 of the Standing Orders to ensure that the amended version of the bill is printed and circulated to members in advance. Clerk, we can proceed.
Bills. Order 72. Consideration stage of the Medicines and Related Products Amendment Bill 2023 by Honorable Amadou Kamara, Member for Nyania.
Honorable members, we recall that after the second reading stage, the bill automatically stood referred to the ABC Committee. Therefore, in accordance with Orders 53E and 68B of the Standing Orders, a motion was moved by a member of the ABC Committee on Thursday, 14 September 2023, to commit the Medicines and Related Products Amendment Bill 2023 to the Committee of the Whole Assembly for consideration of the bill. During the consideration stage, members shall have the opportunity to give detailed consideration and scrutiny to every clause and schedule in the bill. This stage also provides the first opportunity for amendments to the bill to be debated and voted on. I will therefore now resolve the Assembly into the Committee of the Whole Assembly to give consideration to the bill, that is the Medicines and Related Products Amendment Bill 2023. The Assembly now resolves into the Committee of the Whole Assembly.
Yeah, we debate on it.
Honorable members, the Assembly will now go into the Committee of the Whole Assembly to consider the Medicines and Related Products Amendment Bill 2023 clause by clause. As usual, will be guided by Order 72 of the Standing Orders during the consideration stage.
Clerk. Clause 1, short title.
It is proposed that Clause 1, subtitle, stand part of the bill. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Clause 2, amendment of the Medicines and Related Products Act 2014.
It is proposed that Clause 2, amendment of the Medicines and Related Products Act 2014, stand part of the bill. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Clause 3, amendment of Section 26.
You have proposals for...
Yes, I have a proposal before you.
Yes, who? Honorable Member for Nyaniya.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. As set out, and then I think something was circulated to all members, I am proposing for an amendment to Clause 3, that is the second paragraph, where it reads, subsection 5, notwithstanding so subsection 4, the agency may adopt a mechanism other than registration permitting a person to import, distribute, sell, or exhibit for sale any medicines or related product manufactured or produced in the United Kingdom, United States of America, or a country in the European Union. So I am proposing for change on that clause, and it will read as, notwithstanding so subsection 4, the agency may adopt a procedure other than registration permitting a person to import, distribute, sell, supply, or exhibit for sale any medicines or related product manufactured or produced in a country the agency considers to have competent and trusted regulatory authority or institution, hereafter referred to as stringent regulatory authority. And there you will have sub-clause 6, which will read as the agency by notice published in the Gazette. Then A and B will read as shall list the countries it considers to have a stringent regulatory authority, and B may amend the list of countries it considers to have a stringent regulatory authority from time to time.
Honorable members, you have all got the proposed amendment, and you are all in agreement.
There's a proposal from Sweden.
Okay? We will come to that. Honorable member for Nyanija, you made a proposal where we should have off between sale and any. That would give it a different language.
That's not Nyanija.
Huh?
That's not for.
Sabak Sanjal. Okay, sorry, Sabak Sanjal. That will make a different meaning to the whole thing. It is correct as it is, just that we may try to look out and put a comma just before any. What is the other proposal? It's on the same thing.
Yes, on the same thing.
And what is he saying? Stringent. Instead of stringent, can you spell the first one that you are talking about? Where is it introduced? It's in the body. Stringent. Yes. Yes, Honorable.
Now I'm simply saying, since throughout the text it is stringent regulatory authority, and at some point at the objects and reasons, regulatory authorities is also mentioned. So we just say stringent regulatory authority instead of a stringent regulatory authority. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I see. Where is a stringent regulatory?
6A and B. He mentioned AA.
Okay. The agency, by notice published in the Gazette, shall list the countries it considers to have stringent regulatory authority. Honorable members, the one for member for Woolly, we remove the A. Honorable members, if you look at the proposed amendment, that's number 6. The agency, by notice published in the Gazette, A, shall list the countries it considers to have stringent regulatory authority. A, stringent, be removed. A, be removed. Stringent regulatory. And then B, may amend the list of countries it considers to have A, stringent, remove the A, to have stringent regulatory authorities. The 2 A's are removed. Honorable members, it is proposed that clause 3 stand part of the bill as amended. Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Honorable members, the Assembly now resumes. Honorable members, I now invite the person in charge of the bill to move the report of the committee of the whole Assembly. Honorable Member for Nyanija.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. And thank you very much, Honorable members too. Honorable Speaker, I report that the bill entitled the Medicines and Related Products Amendment Bill 2023, having gone through the Committee of the whole Assembly with amendments, and I hereby move a motion that the report be adopted.
Thank you very much. Any seconder, honorable members? Honorable Member for Nyamina West.
Thank you very much, Speaker. I rise to second the motion.
Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that the report of the whole Assembly on the Medicines and Related Products Amendment Bill 2023 with amendments be adopted. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. In accordance with Order 73.4, the consideration stage is hereby completed. Honorable members, the third reading for the Medicines and Related Products Amendment Bill 2023 is now scheduled for Thursday, 22nd September 2023, for the Honorable Member for Nyanija to move for the third reading. However, before this date, the Honorable Member for Nyanija is hereby urged to comply with Order 7220 of the Standing Orders to ensure that the amended version of the bill is printed and circulated to members in advance. Honorable members, let me seize this opportunity to thank all of you for your valuable contributions during this sitting and for sparing time to be with us all the time. On that note, I want to also thank the clerk and the Assembly Service for their support. Honorable members, I now put the question. Be it resolved that this August Assembly do stand adjourned until Tuesday, 19 September 2023 at 10 a.m. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. This Assembly now stands adjourned until Tuesday, 19 September 2023 at 10 a.m. prompt. Thank you.
Islamic microfinance is becoming an increasingly popular mechanism for poverty alleviation, especially for developing countries around the world. This microfinance service adheres to the principles of Islam as a form of social responsibility. Yona Islamic Microfinance is the Islamic microfinance of choice in the Gambia, trustworthy and reliable. At Yona Islamic Microfinance, we provide savings products, current accounts, financing products in conformity with Islam. In addition, Yona Islamic Microfinance also offers local and international remittances, Takaful Fund, management of Zakat, management of Awqaf, trading and investment, and building